Everybody just watching me? It's kind of weird, but... Cool. Okay, well, first I'd like to start this out with, if you have your Bibles, would you please look me to 1 Peter 1:13 and 7 through 17. But I'm only going to read a little bit out of there. It's like this little... Oh, got it. Okay, I probably should put a mark in here. Alright.
Say it again.
Say it again, please. Oh, it's 1 Peter 1:13 through 17. We'll just go 1 Peter 1. So our topic for tonight is to be holy and to be, I guess, young gods. So basically this has to do with being holy. It says, therefore, prepare your minds for action. Be self-controlled. Set your hope fully on the grace to be given when given you when Jesus Christ is revealed. As obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires that you had when you lived in ignorance. But just as He who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do. For it is written, be holy because I am holy. And then it keeps on going on. But basically, He's holy, so we got to be holy. And that's what we're talking about. And it's on holy yours and everything else. We got to be holy in life. So basically, anybody see, what I'm going to talk about now is in school, you see people who claim they're Christians and they're doing all these unholy things. Like, I mean, I don't think it's a good example saying you're a Christian and then going off and like partying and having sex and doing drugs and all this other stuff. I just don't think that's setting a very good example at all of being a Christian. Like, we're supposed to be like setting a great example of being holy, and doing that and not showing a good example to anybody. And so anybody just shout out some random things, unholiness you see from Christians in school. Cussing? Bullying. Bullying. Sex.
Sex in school?
Doesn't have to be in school. Doesn't have to be in school. Can be out of school. Anybody else got anything?
Cheating.
Cheating.
Lying.
Lying. Stealing. Cheating. Yeah. Alright. Well, basically, you got pretty much just everything going on there. You can name those on in school that you can see from Christians. Or any Christian, really. I mean, like, there's people who claim they're Christians, there's people who are Christians. We all sin, but the thing I'm getting at is setting an example. I named some things you see from non-Christian people. Non-Christian.
Good or bad?
Like, bad things.
Cheating.
Drinking.
Sex.
Right. It's basically the exact same thing for people who are Christians, who say they're Christians. That was a good example. And for people who say they're Christians and people who are not Christians, and they're basically just cool with that, which is not good. But, so basically, we need to set an example as Christians, because if we're saying that we're Christians and going off and partying, sex, drugs, all those things that you said, it's not setting a good example at all. And everything you do affects the opinions that people have on every Christian. Like, if one Christian does things like goes off and parties and have sex, and people think, oh, well, all Christians do that, so maybe I want to be a Christian because then I can say I'm a Christian and go off and do those things anyway. So it's really not setting a good example as Christians. We're supposed to be holy. That is being unholy. And that's not what Jesus would do, so we should not do that. Alright, and keep on going on about that. Next thing I'm going to dive deep and talk about purity. So, open your Bibles to Matthew 5:27. And I'm going to go through 30 here. Okay, it's basically talking about adultery here, but same thing. It says, You have heard that it was said, do not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully, counts for you, women looking at men too. Looks at a woman lustfully, has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. Basically, guys, I'm just going to dive in right here. As Christians, you don't have sex before marriage. That's basically the same thing as looking like, if you look at a woman lustfully, then you have basically already done that, committed adultery, and cheated with, I don't know what to say since you're not married, but you know, Jesus. You're cheating with Jesus. That's another example. So, has anybody, just raise your hands, heard of a Christian in school or anything going off and having sex or something? That's a good few. Oh, there should be more hands raised than that. Yeah, there you go. Back there too. Okay, cool. Well, basically, you get that everywhere. There's always going to be a Christian that claims to be a Christian and goes to church all the time and goes off and has sex and does all this other stuff with girls. And that is not what we as Christians are called to do. We are called to be holy and stay pure. That means stay abstinent and don't do that stuff.